Hello and welcome back all my Dragon Ball theorists. One of the most interesting things that happened in our last episode of Super was when Whis with a twist of his staff resurrected Frieza from his eternal prison in hell. This of course saved Goku the trouble of finding the Dragon Balls and having to make a wish. After this happened, I couldn't help but draw the immediate comparison to another item of immeasurable power that is very sought after in the Marvel Universe, the Infinity Gauntlet. Wait, did I just compare this staff to one of the most talked about items in comics that grants the users omnipotence and unmatched powers? Bold comparison, I know, and I'm not saying outright that this staff is its complete equal, but I will show you how it can duplicate the same feats of all the Infinity Gems. The Infinity Gauntlet was the very first comic series that I read in the early 90s, so with that being said, Thanos is my favorite fictional character of all time, and obviously I have a deep love for Dragon Ball, so I will do this comparison without any bias and demonstrate why the Angels of Dragon Ball are just still so far out of reach in power for our Goku. So now let's break down how Whis' staff has the same abilities of each of the mighty Infinity Gems one by one, and then you the fans can decide. One thing I want to mention first is that this staff seems to have its own distinct powers and functions, much like an extension of the wielder, very same to the Infinity Gauntlet where it is up to the user to have the abilities to master and achieve full use of its power. This is why we are doing this comparison, and it's doubtful that Whis could turn back time, manipulate reality, or do some of the crazy things we've seen him do without the staff, since in episode 23, Whis can't do something for Beerus because he doesn't have his staff. More on that later. First up is the Time Gem, which allows the user to see into the past and future, stop, slow down, speed up, or reverse the flow of time. You can age and de-age beings and trap people in an unending loop of time at full potential. The Time Gem grants the user omniscience and total control over the past, present, and future. Obviously, controlling time is one of the most hacked and impressive abilities you can have, so nothing shocked us more than when Frieza blew up the Earth, defeating our heroes, leaving them in space protected by Whis. He then turned to Goku and asked if given another chance, would he change the outcome? And with a simple tap of his staff, he rewinded time before the explosion, giving Goku the opportunity to defeat and kill Frieza before he did this desperate attack that killed everyone. Of course, Whis' reversing of time is limited to 3 minutes, however that doesn't mean the staff has limitations of 3 minutes. It just grants Whis the ability to rewind time, and that is the limit of his power. We don't know if he trains more he can rewind time for longer. We don't know if other angels like Vados who trained Whis has greater manipulation of time with her staff. This is why I'm going to do a comparison of what the staff allows you to do when compared to the Infinity Gems, and why a limiter of 3 minutes shouldn't be applied to the staff or its other abilities. It does heavily fall on the one wielding its divine powers. We also have seen Whis and Vados gaze into their staff when looking for Earth of Universe 6, and when they realized it wasn't there, they decided to look through time at its history to find out that it was destroyed by war. So this staff grants the users the ability to look through time itself to see what has transpired through history. It does kind of make you wonder if you can look into the future, and while we haven't seen it done yet, that doesn't mean it isn't within the staff's abilities. The Soul Gem allows the user to steal, control, manipulate, and alter living and dead souls. The Soul Gem is also a gateway to a pocket universe. At full potential, the Soul Gem grants the user control over all life in the universe. The power over one's soul and life and death is something that defies most logic and reason, which is why when Whis decided to free Frieza from his eternal prison in hell without any effort, it shocked everyone there that Whis' staff had such an ability. This is a very big deal, and Frieza's soul belonged to hell. Whis' staff can instantly nullify someone who has been dead for a while, and soul that belongs to hell, which is another realm, is exactly the type of control that the Soul Gem possesses. Then when Goku and Vegeta are training, Beerus wants them to get stronger quickly and asks Whis to send them to that place. Whis, uncertain if they are ready yet, decides to and lets his staff go and envelops both of them, transporting them into another realm, a pocket dimension if you will, so they can train to become stronger, a different place from all reality that is made up of the staff itself. The staff creates its own world, and being sent there, as Goku and Vegeta found out, isn't a very pleasant experience. It also lacked the nice, beautiful view of Soul World. The Space Gem allows users to exist in any location, move any object anywhere throughout reality, warp or rearrange space. teleport themselves and others to any place the user can imagine, increase their speed, and alter the distance between objects. At full potential, the Space Gem grants the user omnipresence. Right now, the Space Gem hands down has one up on the staff, as we haven't seen it teleport users anywhere throughout space. The staff does allow Whis and others to travel through space at far greater than light speeds, and even travel to different universes. So when Whis is flying Beerus around or visiting other universes, he is indeed warping space to cover these great distances. However, I don't see it allowing anything in a realm of omnipresence, but being able to transport yourself and a god of destruction to another universe in about an hour's time makes many of the fastest flyers jealous. The Reality Gem allows the users to fulfill their wishes, even if the wish is in direct contradiction with scientific laws, and do things that would normally be impossible, to create any type of alternate reality the user wishes. The Reality Gem is one of my favorite gems, and when you have the power to manipulate reality, it doesn't matter how strong or impressive your opponents are. You can defeat them with only a mere thought. We have seen Thanos turn Wolverine's adamantium bones into rubber, causing him to flop over just by thinking it. In the Dragon Ball universe, we are very familiar with something that can directly grant the user anything. The Super Dragon Balls can defy reality and create anything that the user can think of with only a wish. However, Whis staff can also manipulate matter and change reality in an instant. We have seen him change the stands that weren't up to Bulma's standards into these amazing balcony seats at the tournament between Universe 6. To be able to create and change any matter in an instant with just a thought is exactly what the Reality Gem is all about. Whis then was able to help little Bola be born by using his staff to skip the childbirth process and transport her into this nice little blanket for Bulma to hold. So it seems this staff is up there on the reality manipulation scale and would be up to its user's powers and what he can think of. The Mind Gem allows the user to enhance their mental and psionic abilities and access the thoughts and dreams of other beings. The Mind Gem is also the manifestation of the universal subconscious. At full potential, the Mind Gem grants the user omniscience. Yes, Whis isn't all-knowing, and one thing Dragon Ball is void of is someone directly controlling others' minds. However, we have seen fighters move massive objects with only their minds, and this staff is no exception. This staff is able to move large objects with just a thought, as the Super Dragon Balls, which are the size of planets, were collected and moved easily. You can also argue that the Angel Staffs are part of the universal subconscious, since there really isn't anything they can't reveal to the user. When just gazing into the staff, you can see anything in the multiverse. After Universe 9 was erased and Beerus asked Whis if it was really gone, Whis easily looked into his staff to reveal that nothing was left, it's just gone. While the user of the staff isn't omniscient or alert to everything happening at once, there isn't anything the staff can't grant the user to see. So because of this, I do believe that the staff has some divine tie into the universal subconscious to allow the user to see anything, anywhere. Maybe the right person wielding the staff could be omniscient, as it falls on the user's abilities and the staff doesn't seem to have any limitations there. Finally, the Power Gem allows the user to access and manipulate all forms of energy, enhance their physical strength and durability, and boost the effects of the other 5 gems. At full potential, the Power Gem grants the user omnipotence. That final word, omnipotence, is a tough thing to achieve. No one in the Dragon Ball universe as of this date is omnipotent, although it is worth noting that while the Infinity Gauntlet granted Adam Warlock omnipotence, his power was rendered useless in front of the Living Tribunal with just a snap of his fingers. So at the end of the day, even the mighty Infinity Gauntlet has its limitations, even though it does make you pretty much an all-powerful god. There are just cosmic beings that are beyond its omnipotent powers, so to speak. So how does the staff come in? Well, we only seen it use an energy projectile once, and it did seem to control the blast at the tournament where everyone was getting blown away. We really don't know if it actually increases Whis' power though, and his power is already at a massive unknown scale. The fact is that this staff would probably be on Thanos' short list of things to acquire if it was in the Marvel Universe. While it hasn't granted Whis omnipotence, it is a divine item that is as old as time itself and allows the user to accomplish just about anything their heart desires. In the hands of a skilled user, this staff can do many of the things that each of the Infinity Gems can do. As for me, I would rather have the Infinity Gauntlet, and I think Thanos would too. Although when Dragon Ball returns, who knows what we will learn about the powers of the Angels and the Grand Priest. Maybe they are stronger than we think, and there is probably a lot more that the staff can do that we have seen. I can't wait until that day, and earlier I said that Whis couldn't do something because he didn't have his staff. What would be interesting is if the staff is the source of most of the angel's powers. If something like that were the case, can you imagine someone like Frieza learning about this, and what could Frieza do with the powers of Whis' staff? Well, in the hands of the right villain or the right wish from the Super Dragon Balls to attain a staff of the angels, I guess anything would be possible. I hope everyone enjoyed this video talking about the powers of Whis' staff and how they match up to the mighty Infinity Gauntlet. I always love to hear your theories in the comments below, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter to keep up to date on future videos and news. Hope you all are having a great weekend, and don't forget to subscribe to support the channel and turn on that notification bell to keep those theories coming.